Oh yes, Everton fans have shared their disapproval of Pereira. I thought he spoke well, but
so did I.
As they were seen protesting outside of Goodison Park last night, and a wall was spray painted with spelt out the words "Pereira out, Lampard in." But the ex-Porto boss, he may have shot himself in the foot. It depends how you view it. Speaking exclusively to Sky Sports News yesterday, he said, "Of course, this is the first time in my career I've seen these type of things. I've never had these kind of comments about me." By the way, he said, "My CV speaks for itself. It's the environment now, because the club is not in a good position. They don't know me very well. They don't know my work. They don't know me as a person. They don't know my CV. I worked in a lot of countries, different clubs, different levels. We got several titles. Before you know the person, you cannot judge." So fighting back here, he clearly wants this job, Gab.
Listen, you have to feel for him, don't you? You know, like he says, he's won titles. He wants to join Everton, be the manager. But I've got a bit of sympathy for Everton fans. You know, Benitez was brought in against their will. They had no say in it.
It was never going to work.
And it's never going to work. And why don't the board listen to the club fans for once? You know, listen to the fans. Who do the fans want? You know, it might take pressure off yourself, because if they don't listen to the fans now and give Pereira the job, and he loses his first 2-3 games, it's going to be the same as it was at the end of Benitez. It's going to be a toxic atmosphere. So you either go and get a Lampard or someone that the fans prefer, or you keep Duncan Ferguson in there, like we says yesterday.
Ali and I seem Big Dunk would be the ideal candidate to keep them up. And let's not talk about where Everton finish. It's just about staying up now. You look at the table.
The one thing,
they go to Newcastle next, by the way.
The one thing you've got to say in Pereira's defence, he won the league twice with Porto, 2012, 2013, and I think they won the Greek Super League with Olympiacos 2015, and the Chinese Super League in 2018. So, you know, he has won one or two things. However,
the Chinese Super League.
I know. I'm only stating the facts. However, I'm still of the opinion, and Alice, Gab, that we would give it to Dunk to the end of the season. Although Dave, who was a strong Everton fan, come on and kind of disagreed with us a little bit. Gab, where do you sit on it?
Mate, I totally agree. Listen, I think Everton fans think that maybe they've got no chance of relegation. You know what I mean? They're not far off that relegation zone. Keep Duncan Ferguson into the end of the season. It's going to keep them up. Probably finish on 42, 43 points. And then maybe at the end of the season, you go and look for a replacement, Ali. But bringing in a manager who doesn't know the Premier League now and risk, you know, Everton being in a relegation battle. Like he says, Newcastle next. What a game that is.
Massive.
So I just don't understand why you'd risk it. And Pereira loses his first 3 games. You could be talking a Watford situation where he's sacking him before the end of the season now.
Gab, I think it's Leeds at home after that one as well. Crikey.
Exactly.
Do you know what
Massive game.
I tell you what, let me take an Everton fan on the line. Right. Mike's an Everton fan. Mike, very good morning,
Good morning, Mike.
I wish it was happier times. Mike, what do you reckon? What's the answer here, pal?
Good morning, guys. Great
morning, mate.
Thank you.
I'm enjoying it as always. So I think my sort of, I've done a bit of research, bit of digging, you know, and I'm just looking at it, and if you look at it, since Dick Molyneux, ex-Everton player, Howard Kendall, ex-Everton player, Joe Royle, ex-Everton player, all won trophies, yeah? So you think to yourself, right, get Rooney in number one. Right. Howard Kendall, when he first came in, was unpopular with the fans. They didn't want him. Then we ended up having the greatest season of all times. You know, European Cup, Charity Shield, league titles, everything. So Rooney might have that sort of sentiment as Howard Kendall in terms of him coming back. Obviously, with the history as it was, I was gutted when he went. Of course, was all Evertonians, you know. But he went on and won things, and that's what he wanted to do as well. Which is right, you know.
So you want a bit of heart back in the club, Mike, and you know, even just to keep, as Gabby said, and I've said earlier, Ali, Everton have got to stay in the Premier, and this is getting crucial. These next half a dozen games are getting crucial for Everton's survival. So you reckon keep Dunk, get Rooney in, bang, and fight your way out of the trouble.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, there's 18 games left, so we've got games in hand as well. And I just think to myself, you know, like, why if we have Rooney, Ferguson, it's almost like we've still got Big Dunk in the helm anyway, because he's there. Do you know what I mean? So it won't make any difference if it's number one and number two, if it's Rooney and Ferguson. And imagine the passion, you know, local lad, Ferguson, legend of the club. imagine the heart, the soul, everything will come back into Merseyside, into Goodison Park.
Mike, I've not got the best line, but I've got the drift of what you're saying. Do you know what? This is horrible what I'm going to say now. And this backs. I'm with Matt. I would give. Look, Wayne can't be seen to saying, "Oh, I'm desperate to go back to Goodison," because he's doing a fighting job at Derby, isn't he? And I don't want to upset Derby fans, right? I don't want to upset the Derby fans. But if Wayne was given the chance, I am sure he would go to Everton with Big Dunk, I'm sure. And let's be honest, I don't think it's about style at the moment. As I said earlier, I think it's about keeping Everton in the Premier League. And Everton haven't got the players, with the greatest respect, they haven't got the squad, the players, look at the bench, to perform against the very best and outplay them. They're going to have to fight their way to survival. And that's why I think Rooney and Big Dunk would be the ideal to the end of the season.
Al, you're 100% right, mate. Listen, I'll tell you right now, and I'll bet you Gabby agrees. Everton have got far bigger issues and far bigger problems than sitting wanting to play attractive football. I'll tell you that.
Well, Ali, they've gone through 6 managers, £500 million in transfers, nothing to show for it. Look at their squad. It's a bottom 7, bottom 8 squad they've got there. So for me, I'd give it Duncan Ferguson to the end of the season, and then I'll look at maybe Wayne Rooney. He would have probably, hopefully, kept Derby up. Bring Rooney in. He can look at that squad in the summer and be like, you know what? I want him out. Yep. I want to bring these players in and totally change the Everton squad. Because why do clubs keep looking at managers from overseas all the time? Why not bring in a manager who knows the Premier League like Rooney?
I mentioned the Brighton boy. Graham Potter. What a great job
he's
done.
Yeah, but he wouldn't come to Everton. I don't think. I think he's looking at bigger jobs.
Okay, but what I'm saying, Gab, is this: that you can't blame Mashiri for putting his money on the table and saying, go and get them. Get these players. My argument is, who's he listening to?
Exactly.
When he's buying these players. Whoever he's listening to has got it totally wrong. Yep.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.